I consistently get about 2 or 3 dates a week. And I would say that these are girls that I'm actually interested in, and girls that are not just pretty, but have depth to them and don't have as many red flags and are going to actually complement my life and allow me to grow as a human being. And we're going to grow together. And if it doesn't lead to that, then I have other options I can look at and continue the process and continue to grow as a human being in the process of growing and dating, because they kind of come together. When I talk about my life before the program, it just, everything didn't work and I couldn't fix it. And now I can. It's all clicking. It's all clicking. All the issues are now getting fixed. So happy to be a part of this program. This program, man, I'm going to try to say this without crying. It is completely changed my life. Completely changed my life. It just, the ways that it's not just affected my dating life. It hasn't just affected girls and approaches and all that. All of that has been wonderful. But I think the biggest impact is that it's completely changed my entire outlook and on Will Curtright as a human being. And it's changed the way that I approach my career and my family and my friendships and my relationships with everyday people, building connections and just truly being able to engage with people on a level that I've never been able to ever. That's been awesome. I think once we kind of investigated what was really going on with Will Curtright's psyche that was holding me back from approaching girls and approaching random people and talking and building connections with people, I quickly discovered that there was a bunch of limiting beliefs that were holding me back, such as I don't deserve to be the guy at the bar or cafe or any social situation that's taking the lead and being an alpha and taking the initiative and deserves to be someone that is successful with girls. Like, I didn't feel like that was me. Like, I'm not good looking enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not confident enough, all those things. And we got to kind of dive into that in this program and figure out what was causing that. And I think that something that really helped me also is that something that's always helped me in any part of life is knowledge. And so, like, for example, go to the gym, you can know that you have to lift weights. Duh. Everyone knows that. But do you know the right form? And do you know the right weights to lift and how to log it and how to build accountability and all sorts of things like that? And that all affects dating as well. Because when I show up at a cafe now, like a Starbucks, or if I'm going to like get some lunch somewhere, or if I'm going to a bar with friends to watch a fun game or whatever, I see a girl that I'm really attracted to and I know what to do. And knowing what to do is almost half the battle, because you go, okay, I've got 5 seconds to approach this girl. I know what I need to say to start a conversation, whether that's compliments or observations or assumptive statements that we all learned about in this program and investigated deeply and discussed examples of on the calls. And I know that even if it goes awful, just goes terrible, it's going to be okay. And I'm going to learn from it. And I'm going to be able to bring it up on a call, figure out what went wrong, so that the next approach, I kill it. And so there's no longer this fear of rejection, failure, thinking that I'm not going to be able to succeed with every area of my life. And I think the biggest thing is that you start looking at each approach as not being indicative of what Will Curtright is a human being. What is indicative of Will Curtright as a human being is that I took the action. I did it. I actually showed up to the plate and tried to hit the homer. Maybe didn't hit the homer that time, but I will next time, because I'm going to get the right coaching to do it. Before this program, I think you asked me, if you saw 10 gorgeous girls throughout the course of a week, how many would you approach? And I'd say 1. And I'd be like embarrassed of the 1, because I know that it was something where the 1 maybe I came across as creepy. Maybe I did inappropriately. Maybe I had poor approach, poor form, weird awkwardness, whatever. I didn't have the right coaching to get it fixed. And so it just became this recurring problem that just got worse and worse. So when I see those 9 other girls throughout the league, I'm not going to approach them because I'm thinking about how the one went and how epic of a fail it was. And I think that I'm constantly thinking about what's the worst case scenario of the failure with this. Like, what could happen? Could I lose my job? Could I make my friends all think I'm a loser? Could I start hurting my own self-confidence? That sort of thing. And just start thinking about all the bad without thinking of any of the pros of approaching that girl. In reality, most of the time, it's just 15 to 20 seconds of awkward time. It is what it is. After having been in this program, my dating life looks like consistency and consistent improvement and constant growth and confidence and success, and ultimately success, because it's all striving towards that. There's a continual daily process that leads towards the long-term success versus being like a 1 or 2 things that you fix and everything goes right. That's just not how it works. You got to work at it every single day. I'm getting better every single day. And the person that I'm going to be in dating, who knows, a year from now is going to be even better than I was today, because I'm constantly working at it, constantly getting better. In terms of tangible results, so George and I are actually in the same AT&T program, and I started off this program, and frankly, I was awful, and I was not making barely any sales, and I had no confidence when cold calling people, and no confidence when trying to send emails. But now, like, once I started the program, it was about halfway I was through as doing a sales development program. My sales in that program just skyrocketed. Like, the amount of money that I'm making now is like 10 times more than I ever was, because I know how to build connections and how to confidently approach human interactions. And this goes way beyond dating. But the reality is that sales, dating, accounting, being a lawyer, being an engineer, you're constantly working on building connections with people. And it all goes back to consistent process leads to consistent success. So that was something that was tangible that I never thought was going to happen. And I ultimately ended up finishing #1 in that program, got a great job out of it. I'm working in downtown in Dallas, doing quite well. Actually can afford to take girls to coffee from time to time. And it's wonderful. It's a great thing. It's definitely a tangible result I never thought was going to come out of this. So I've actually built a really strong community with guys in the program, because ultimately we're all trying to achieve the same thing. We're all doing something that's really weird, and society says you can't approach a girl. Society says you can't approach a girl at Starbucks, you can't approach a girl at the gym, you can't approach a girl at the bar, whatever. And all society says that it's going to be weird, it's going to be awkward, and first dates are always going to suck and all that. But now we're in this community where all these guys that say, forgive my French, F that, I want nothing to do with that. I want to succeed. I want to win. I want to do whatever it takes to win. And you build back those connections because it's common-minded people. And we've got people that are going to be coming pretty soon down here in January. So you can come see the Cowboys play the Cardinals from the program. And we're going to go out and do some approaches in downtown Dallas. It's going to be a blast. And they're going to stay at my place and various Airbnbs when ultimately stuff happens. And and it's going to be a blast. And it's because you're all hustling and growing together. And that creates this awesome bond. Yeah, one more thing I'd like to add about my experience is that it will kind of change the way your day-to-day life is structured in a good way. In that when I do work from home, for example, I don't actually work from home. I go to a cafe, or I go to somewhere they got coffee and they got cute girls, or whether it's a mall, something like that. And I can actually interact with all kinds of people, not just girls, and form guy connections as well as girl connections. and create the kind of friendships that are just another level. And if you're moving to a big new city, or if you're coming out of college and you're post grad, or if you're in your 40s and you just went through a rough divorce or breakup or something, and you're feeling very lonely, it's so essential to have those awesome guy connections as well as girl connections.